Shenanigans. Truth, lies, 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 shenanigans. Shenanigans. Truth, lies, 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 shenanigans. Shenanigans. Truth, lies, 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 shenanigans.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Truth Lies Shenanigans, the live show, season 2, episode 1. I go by the name Neil Nix, and I'll be your moderator for today's shenanigans in our first episode of the new year 2020. For today's show, it's our TLS Holiday Pets episode. So pets will be making their appearances throughout the show. So make sure you keep an eye out for them. And we'll be judging your submissions for our TLS Holiday Pets contest. Also, in Hot Topics, Gianni talks about the Senate runoffs in Georgia, saying it's a new year, same politics. I'll be talking about Trump blaming his family for his loss. Lizzie talks about a sports analyst basically calling young black players selfish. And Rob B talks about the silver lining of COVID-19. All right, welcome to the show, everyone. Let me introduce you to the co-host, our professor, writer, editor, journalist out of Washington, D.C., Lizzie Ender.
What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday, fun day. Happy New Year. This is our first show of 2021. Hopefully the first of many, many more to come. I hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and that you are ready to be able to do it bigger and better than Trump in 2021.
So, Lizzie, any New Year's resolutions for you?
So I think we posted the other day about your New Year's resolution is based on your birth month. And so my birth month is June, and it said that my resolution was to get more organized. And I agree, I do need to do that, especially as it relates to school and syllabi and grading papers and things like that. So for me, getting more organized and saving more money in 2021, those are my two resolutions.
All right, all right. And we have our rock star with the band Fallen Machine coming to you from Sudbury, Ontario, Rob B. Rock.
What's up? What's up? Hey, it's great to be back. Season 2, very excited. And yeah, like Liz was saying, that's I hope that everyone celebrated well, had a good time, and everyone's feeling refreshed for what 2021 has in store for us. A lot like 2020, but with a few vaccines in play.
All right, any resolutions for you?
I don't really do New Year's resolutions. When it's time for change, I make that decision. I find that a lot of people fail at their New Year's resolutions because they try to be too ambitious with it. So I'm all about small, sustainable change over time to create effective habits.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. So, and we have streaming from Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia. Man, what is my problem with saying Georgia?
Georgia.
Our model, actor, and college student, Gianni Storm.
Whoop,
Hi.
whoop.
I hope everybody had a really good new year transitioning into 2021. I know a lot of people are really glad that 2020 is over, but hopefully you did learn a lot in 2020. Like, hopefully there is, if you could describe 2020 in one word, it was something that was efficient or purposeful in 2020. So, um, and also my New Year's resolution, I like Rob, I don't really like that New Year's resolution, but I will say this year I am going to focus on career and self love, like more self love, self habits, things like that. Very selfish kind of year.
You know, the funny thing is, when I decided to ask this question, I knew I had a feeling that Rob B and Gianni Storms would be the one who typically would not do New Year's resolutions.
That's their New Year's resolutions, to come up with a New Year's resolution.
There you go.
I mean, I'm making a resolution simply because I think COVID put a little too much, little weight on, a little too much in the tummy. So I'm a resolve to lose a little of this weight, this COVID weight. So that's my,
You better go to Posh Fitness. You
I was going to say,
Exactly.
I hear from the wife all the time.
this is another shameless plug. I love it.
Posh.fit. Posh.fit. Check it out. All right, guys, if you've never been to TLS before, let me tell you a bit about us. We like to share our truths and opinions with you, call out the lies, and point out the ridiculous shenanigans going on out there. And we always try to have some fun with some shenanigans of our own. Our show streams live just about everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter. And this season, we're streaming live on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch TV. Just search at TLS Live Show across all those platforms. And don't ever miss an episode. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Google, Alexa, iHeart, Pandora. We have a podcast as well. You'll find us wherever you watch or listen to your podcast. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, let's make some friends, follow, and grow together. I said Alexa, and Alexa decided to respond to me.
That was.
So I should have just said search Truth Lies Shenanigans. All right. All right, guys. It's time for our TLS holiday pets.
Who let the dogs out?
All right, we had a contest for cutest pet photos. We had a bunch of submissions and 3 finalists. So Gianni, tell us a little bit more about TLS pets. I'm gonna bring my pet into the scene. Come here, Phoenix.
Oh, yay!
Come here, buddy.
Remy was here. I don't know where
Oh,
he
cute.
went.
Oh, where is Remy? Okay, so today is the official live contest for the first annual TLS Holiday Pets, where you were supposed to send your oh, how cute, Fluffy. Where you were supposed to send your submissions to hashtag TLS Holiday Pets on any social platform. So, and we're also supposed to debate live, not debate, I'm sorry, judge live the winner that will be winning our first custom TLS Holiday Pets bandana. So, we have the submissions here, and we're going to be going one by one. And oh, actually, yeah. So we're going to go one by one. We've actually already chosen our finalists. So
The
let's
top
see
three?
who we
Are we
have
doing,
first.
how are we doing
Yes.
this? We're doing the top
Aw.
three?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Liz. Yeah, so we're doing the top three. I'm going to say the first pet owner's name, and Neo is going to pull them up. Okay, so our first one is Zulika. And
Z girl!
Zulika,
Z
Z.
girl!
Is this her? Okay.
Is that serious? That's serious black in that picture? Oh my gosh, she got like a nice little holiday haircut, grooming, and everything.
Is there? Okay.
Wow.
I couldn't see it at first. Okay, so this is the first finalist we chose by pet owner Z, and these are her two pooches in their cute holiday sweater matching. Very cute, black and white. Okay,
All right.
as you guys see, take it in for a couple seconds. All right, so for the second finalist, we have Mel. Oh, sorry, Neo.
And
Neo's
Neo's
distracted.
getting on his game, you know. He's trying
Yeah.
to influence the audience
Oh,
with
so
live
cute.
there.
We lost your audio, Neo.
Oh yeah,
We
Neo,
can't
we
hear
can't
you.
hear you.
Yep.
While Neo's getting that together, this is our second finalist, and this is Mel and her two pooches, and they also are in their matching sweaters. So take it in, everybody. These are the two finalists. What kind of dog is that? I don't know.
Yeah, what
You
kind
know?
are those? Are a variation of, is it Bichon Frise or poodles or what are
Yeah,
those?
very cute.
We still can't hear you,
I
Neo.
think he's saying poodle.
Neo's New Year's resolution is going to be to multitask. That's what we're going to have Neo multitask.
Okay. Okay, so for the third finalist, we have Anika. Anika is the third finalist, and she sent in a picture of her dog. Neil's pulling it up. Give it 1 second, guys. Meanwhile, taking the last two pictures that we just put up so that you can judge. And then also, guys, I forgot to mention, as you're looking at these pictures, people in the audience, make a comment of who your favorite is and who you think should win. The names that I've said so far. So far we've had Z and we've had Mel. Z was the first photo and Mel was the second one. So don't forget to comment because we're gonna right after this we're gonna go ahead and choose who should win.
Testing,
So
can you
this
hear
is
me?
the third final.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We can hear you now, brother.
It's, I think one of my dogs hit the hit the thing, so
Dog.
Oh.
Who's that?
it was a dog.
It was an active dog.
All right, so
Now, I
this is
have to
Okay,
say,
so
as a cat owner, I just want to express how envious I am of all dog owners or even of all cat owners who have pets that allow them to put costumes on them
I
for
know.
whatever occasion, Christmas or birthday, Halloween. Remy Rogers Nelson would never sit still with any sweater,
I love
any
those
hat,
photos.
none of that. He just would not be down.
I
So
know how
props to
you
you.
guys got them to pose and everything.
oh, it
Yes.
was not easy. Don't get me wrong. Oh, by the way,
Oh,
they're called Bernedoodles. So
Bernedoodle.
Bernedoodle.
they mix with Bernese Mountain Dog and Poodle. One has more poodle than the other, though.
Wow.
Interracial dogs on fleek.
Very cute. They're very cute.
All right.
So the third finalist was Anika.
Like
And
the
here
boo
is
boo.
her
Look at that boo boo.
There's a,
in
Anika's dog is
her
like
Santa
really.
outfit.
Anika's online. What's your dog's name, Anika? Anika's online, actually.
Yeah.
Put your
nobody
put
said
your
her
dog's
name.
name on the.
That's a cute little boo boo.
That's a
See what
cutie.
Anika said. So
Hmm.
this was the third finalist we chose, guys. So think of who you want to win and go ahead and put a comment
Vote,
in
vote in the
whatever chat.
comments. Vote in the comments. All right, so I guess we have to vote, right? We have to put in a vote. I'm going to recuse myself. I'm recusing myself since my wife submitted one, so I'll recuse myself.
So I get a double vote. I get a double vote.
Okay, we'll give you a double vote.
So where am I submitting? I'm submitting to our group.
No, right now, just tell us which one you like better. Which one is your top? Are you going with?
So
Go ahead.
my top, no offense to my co-hosts and their beautiful fur babies, but I love Miss Anika's doggy there. So Anika, please send us your doggy's name. But I just love
Connor.
that Connor.
Connor is the name.
That's so cute.
Connor. I love that Connor has on his Santa suit. I love that he's given, mommy those. Okay, mommy, I'm doing this for you eyes, so you can win this contest.
Aww.
And I like that he matches in. He blends in with the background. He blends in with the
It
carpet.
does look
He
like the
blends
carpet.
the tree,
He does.
the tree mat. So yeah, I'm going for Mr. Connor there. Hey, Shug.
Aww.
All right, Robbie Rock.
Okay. Rob.
Connor really reminds me of my aunt's old dog Barney, and spent a lot of time around that lovable pooch, and it's a cute pose.
It is a cute pose.
It's a good boy. Connor's a good boy.
So your vote is Connor. Your vote is Connor.
My vote is Connor. Yes.
All right. Gianni Storm, what's your vote?
Okay. I actually chose Connor too because I really think like the whole setup of the picture. I know it's such a cute picture though. It's the whole setup of the picture, like how they have the tree and then Connor has the little Santa outfit. I just like how aesthetically it looks.
All
So
right.
yeah, that's my favorite picture.
Connor, you're a star. You're a star.
I'm looking online. I see Chaotic Neutral Podcast says love the dogs. I have 3 cats and 1 dog. Looks like we have a bunch of votes for Connor. Connor seems to be. Paulette votes Connor. Jose votes Connor.
Hey.
We do have 1 vote from Rupka for who is this? This is for Mel. For Mel. So she's.
That's a family vote. That's a family vote.
I agree. We're not gonna count that. We're not gonna count that one. So go ahead and continue voting in the online, and by the end of the show, we'll have a winner, right? Right, Gianni?
Yes, by the end of the show, we will have a winner. So
Awesome.
keep voting.
And Anika, we have a new name I have a new name for you for Connor. Connor Claus. Connor Claus. Connor Claus.
There you go.
The dogs out.
Renaming her dog. Look at you.
No, I'm telling you, I wish I could get an outfit on Remy. That would never happen. Never.
I can relate, Liz. My dog's very docile when it comes to dress up time. The cat.
Not happening at all.
It's dangerous.
But he was very festive. Remy was very festive for New Year, so I appreciate that every year. Because he kind of does his own thing, but he's not down for allowing me to decorate him by any stretch of the imagination.
I just want to point out Chaotic Neutral Pod on Instagram is saying we dress up our dog. She's wearing a onesie right now.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Very nice. Very
All right, guys, let's move on into our hot topics. Don't forget to vote online, guys.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, for our first hot topic of the new year, we are going with Lizzie Enders. Lizzie Enders. Is this going to be a truth, a lie, or is this shenanigans?
That's straight on shenanigans. We're gonna be picking boogers
Picking
for the
boogers.
next 5 minutes. So ESPN commentator, I guess you can call him a broadcaster, Booger McFarland. For those of you who are not familiar with Booger, Booger McFarland is a former NFL player. He actually won 2 Super Bowls in the NFL. And prior to this season, he was a commentator, like a sideline commentator on Monday Night Football before they fired him. They let him go. But he got
And
most
he was
of his
bad. He sucked.
I was going to say he got
He
most of
sucked.
on Monday Night Football because he was kind of like the Yogi Berra of NFL commentating, where he would just make these statements or put forth these quotes that made absolutely no sense.
He sucked.
So fast forward to, I would say 2 weeks ago, we know that, former Washington football team quarterback Dwayne Haskins got into a lot of trouble for his second COVID violation of the season. This go round, he was caught with a bunch of scrippas. He says he wasn't in a script club, but that he was in his hotel room. The NFL said it didn't matter. You broke protocol. Plus, you don't play like you have, any talent in that dead arm of yours. So he got fined $40,000 for breaking COVID protocol. The following week, but they didn't get rid of him, the Washington football team, the following week because they needed him. Like their number one quarterback, starting quarterback, Alex Smith, hurt. So he couldn't play last week. They put Haskins in, and he sucked as he normally does. And so the day after, Washington football team released him based on, 2 years of mediocre play and a lot of controversy in Washington. Based on that, Mr. Booger McFarland decided to get that finger out and to dig deep in that nose and to pick some ridiculous and which he is not only calling out Dwayne Haskins for his poor play over the past 2 years and for his controversies within Washington, but he decided to use this as an opportunity to call out Black players in the NFL in general. So, Neil, do you have his video of what he had to say? His
Unfortunately,
take
I've seen
on
this too
Black
many
NFL
times. Played in
players?
the NFL almost a decade. You played a long time. We've been around it for a long time. And oftentimes, young players, especially, and I'm going to go here, especially young African-American players, because they make up 70% of this league. They come into this league and they ask themselves the wrong thing. They come into the league saying not, how can I be a better player? They don't say, how can I be a better teammate? They don't say, how can I be a better person? How can I get my organization over the hump? Here's what they come in saying. They come in saying, how can I build my brand better? How can I build my social media following better? How can I work out on Instagram and show everybody that I'm ready to go, but when I get to the game, I don't perform? Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, is not the first case that I've seen like this.
Yes.
And it won't be the last. And it bothers me because a lot of it is the young African-American player. They come in and they don't take this as a business. It is still a game to them.
They look at it as football.
This ain't football,
Right.
man. This is a billion-dollar
Woo! Okay, so I had to get some Kleenex to, hand off to Mr. Booger McFarland. His face. But so not only did he make that, assessment of Black NFL players, he also went on to compare Dwayne Haskins to a former Black NFL quarterback, Jamarcus Russell, who was basically a bust. He was a number 1 pick back when he was drafted, but to the Raiders, played 2 seasons with Raiders, but then he was a bust. But he failed to mention Mr. McFarland, Mr. Booger, all of the white NFL players who have been bust in the league. So my question to you all, before I give you some examples of white NFL players who actually have been far worse, both on the field and off the field, than Dwayne Haskins, what do you think of Mr. McFarland's assessment? And do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair?
Let's start with Gianni Storm on this one.
Yeah, sure. So when he was saying that, a part of me was like, is he saying this out of bias? Because you know how the saying goes, it be your own people. So it's like,
Yup.
is he saying this out of is he saying this out of bias? Is he just saying this because he personally has a problem with just the African American men doing it, even though he's aware that other races are doing it as well, like this kind of issue? And then I thought maybe like what evidence does he have that it is only or a majority of African Americans? So I don't know. I feel like his judgment is biased and that it is kind of like wrong. It is wrong, but I don't know where he's coming from. Like I don't know why he got that judgment. So yeah.
Robbie Rock.
Robbie,
I think, yeah, I think that it's more anecdotal because if the NFL is comprised 70% of black players, okay, so the majority of the instances that you're going to see statistically are going to be with black players. I think that this really highlights the generational gap between the players because you have a former player who really took his hard knocks, and that's what it was about. You played hard, you trained hard. If you had a media presence, it was with the coaches and a panel after the game. And like you were saying, a lot of these young players are focused on the wrong thing. They're focused on building their brand, their social media presence. And when the teams and owners back up truckloads of money to young players in particular and tell them how special they are and how they're the next best thing they can do no wrong, if you don't have the maturity, if you're not equipped to handle that, you're going to go off the rails like all of these other young men before them. I just think it's more the money and maturity. But yeah, I think his comments were anecdotal and maybe paternalistic, a little misguided.
That's a
Neil?
that's a good point. I mean, Robbie makes the best point in that we're talking about 70% African American players. So, of course, you're going to be able to point at a number of players who are African American who are inherently selfish because people are selfish. So, I mean, the numbers show themselves. But I mean, you're right. He did not point out all of the busts or the people who came in not taking it seriously. Like, I mean, I my first thought is Ryan Leaf. Um, I,
First round pick back in the day.
I mean, Manziel just recently. Johnny Manziel. How do you say his name? Manziel. Johnny Manziel.
Mansfield.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of people to point at, and it's not just African Americans who have the problem. It's young kids coming into the league. So the fact that he did point out African Americans, I think, is unnecessary, um, and it doesn't help the situation when we're trying to, um, you know, bring positivity and it just doesn't help at all. Especially when we're talking Black Lives Matter and all that stuff right now. I mean, why are you degrading? I don't know. I wanted to disagree with you on this one, Lizzie, but it was hard.
Well, in Booker's defense, he made a comment because this generated a lot of controversy on social media, online. And so he put out a tweet afterwards, which said, "My message was to all players, which I said, but specifically to the part of the NFL that makes up almost 70% of the African American players." But if his message was to all players, he would not have had to pinpoint who to specifically say African American players, Black players. He would not have had to specifically compare Dwayne Haskins to a Jamarcus Russell, when in reality, Dwayne Haskins is more like Johnny Manziel when you talk about the off the field issues. Johnny Manziel, again, as Neil pointed out, Johnny Manziel came out of Texas A&M University in, I believe, in 2014. First round pick. He was the number 22 pick in that round, Heisman Trophy winner. But when he got drafted, when he came across the podium in his draft, this is what he did.
Yep.
This is what he
Money,
did.
money. Yep, I remember that. Hmm.
He branded the name Johnny Football, which was a name that he got in high school that carried over with him in college onto the NFL. Johnny Football.
Yep.
Show me the money.
He
So here we
sucked.
have
And he was really bad too.
who came into the league who wasn't thinking about, he was drafted by the Browns, who came into the league who wasn't thinking about being the best quarterback that he could be for his team. He was thinking about the brand, Johnny Football. So he gets to the Browns and he's a bust. Not only does he suck on the field, but he had several controversies off the field,
Yep.
including his then girlfriend accusing him of domestic violence in a car. He went to rehab because he had alcohol and drug issues. None of these things were assigned to Dwayne Haskins,
Yep.
but yet you decided to choose the one black player who had a rough 2 years. And don't get me wrong, I think Dwayne Haskins has a lot of growing up to do.
He
I
does.
think he made a lot of mistakes in Washington, but his issues were his issues alone. Let's talk about the fact that at the start of the season, 10 black quarterbacks were starters in the league. Only one of the 10, Dwayne Haskins, had issues like this. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes, MVP, just won the Super Bowl last year. We're talking about Russell Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater, Lamar Jackson, who just completed today his second straight 1,000-yard rushing season for a quarterback. But yet you choose to focus on Dwayne Haskins and say all of these black players, all they think about is branding and they're selfish and they're not thinking about being the best player for their team. That is a bunch of bullshit. And I'm so sick of people like Booger or Jason Whitlock or Sage Steele, African American black journalists who make it a point to go after black players in the worst way possible. In the worst way possible.
Yeah, I feel like it's an easy target. It's an easy target to go after black players. And I think also like he could have, if it's something that he was genuinely um interested or cared for the African American players, maybe it could have been a more personal or private discussion between teams or something like that. Maybe you said he's a journalist, right? Well, I mean that's what he does. He broadcasts.
Analyst, broadcast analyst.
Analyst now.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
call
he's
him a
not
journalist.
he's an analyst now, but he's a former player. But also, too, when you talk about branding, I mean, why wouldn't these players be concerned about branding in a league where contracts are not guaranteed? It's not like Major League Baseball. It's not like NBA. The contracts are not guaranteed. So you have to do something out there.
I love it.
Nice one, yo. Nice one.
Thank you.
You have to do something to maximize your potential while you are still hot.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
All right, let's get to some of these comments online. Jacqueline Robbins says, tell it. There was a time when black men couldn't even be quarterbacks. Let's see. Jeanette Brown says, lots of drafted football players will not have had modeling or mentoring to prepare them for the NFL. And she also says, there's an unfortunate reality. Some seems to me like this is an issue of age, not race. Not race.
Yeah, it's
And that's what I
generational.
said. It's a maturity thing.
Yeah, and it's generational. Like players have more opportunities outside of just playing on the field than they had during the time when Booger was playing.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Well, there's more endorsements to be had than the Wheaties box now.
Rivka says, pure example of what's wrong with the world. Why do we put down our own people just to look good? So, great hot topic, Lizzie. Great hot
It's
topic.
some Kleenex, Booger. Get some Kleenex, Booger. Clean yourself up, brother.
Booger. All right, let's move to our next hot topic.
Lies, shenanigans.
All right, and this hot topic goes to Gianni Storm. I know you're doing some fun things down in Atlanta for this Senate race. So tell us about that. And is this a truth, lie, or shenanigans?
Yes. Yes, so this is a truth. I'm going to be speaking on the political shenanigans that happen into the new year. So, as you guys know, January 5th is the end of the voting period for, January 5th is the beginning or the day that you elect Senate, either Republican or Democrat candidate.
Yep.
So ever since I believe the past 2 weeks, they have been doing a lot of like surveying and canvassing in Georgia specifically, because this is where Trump is targeting, because this is where he lost. So he's kind of hired a bunch of Republican like nonprofits or volunteers. I'm not sure how they're affiliated, but so what I'm doing actually is I'm working for the Democratic Party as a surveyor. So I go out into different towns in Georgia. Mainly, they're about an hour from. I mean, they're about an hour from Atlanta, so they are in the country. And I'm going to these homes and surveying and asking them who they're voting for. And also a series of other questions. But I'm not like soliciting anything or trying to, debate anything. So what I've noticed is that a lot of these houses are usually unaffiliated or undecided, and that's why we're going to. Um, I've also noticed that mainly in towns such as Snellville, Jonesboro, if you guys know these places, or Griffin,
Those are rural
they're
areas.
heavily, yeah, they're just very country. Like they're very that open lands and stuff like that. It's very, very country over there. So a lot of them are Republican, but surprisingly, with the ones who did want to talk to me, surprisingly they are uh, either voting only his name, what's his name, Purdue. They're either only voting for him and they're not voting for the woman Loeffler, or they're undecided, or they're not voting at all. So, and I don't see anybody in those areas really voting for Democrat at all. So it's just very interesting to see the different demographic areas. And then when I did do around the Atlanta area and the surrounding like cities, it was heavily Democrat, and then a sprinkle here and there of Republicans. So I do see a shift of blue in Georgia. Like I see it. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. But a lot of people, surprisingly, that on my like when I survey people, surprisingly, a lot of people don't want to vote. Like they're they're like, no, I don't know who to vote for. And most of those people are not Caucasian. Like there are a lot of Hispanic people and some Black people as well. So yeah, that's based on my experience so far in the runoff for Senate in Georgia. But I tied this into the topic. Yeah, sorry, Liz, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you, like, since you are in Georgia and you've been, embarking on this project and you've been out there talking to people, like, what do you think the pulse feels like? Like, when the elections come and they start to tally all of the votes or whatever, like, how do you think in your gut, how do you think it's going to swing?
Let
Do you
me
think that there's going to be major changes in the Senate, or do you think it's going to be relatively much of the same?
before you answer that, Gianni, let me just help our audience out, just so they know what's going on. So just to
Yeah.
let you know, uh, in Georgia, during the election on November 4th, they did vote for Senate seats in Georgia, 2 Senate seats in Georgia, but unfortunately there weren't enough votes for them to elect someone, so they had to do what's called a runoff in Georgia for the 2 seats, and the vote happens. When does that happen, Gianni? Is it happen on the 5th or the 6th?
January 5th.
January
On the
5th.
5th.
So the vote happens in 2 days. Yep, in 2 days. So these seats are really important because right now there are 48 seats that are Democratic and 50 seats that are Republican. So these 2 seats, if they were to turn Democratic, would create a balance in the Senate, and it would cause Kamala Harris to be the deciding vote on all Senate votes. So it's a very important key race. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understood what was happening there. But go ahead, Gianni. Answer.
As the vice president, he would have that role, but also it would challenge the position of Mitch McConnell as Senate Majority Leader.
That's right. Which is, we really should try to get rid of Mitch McConnell, Trump lover. Go ahead,
But
Gianni.
to answer your question, Liz, I do feel like it's gonna swing heavier to the left. I do feel that. I feel that um, there are a lot of obviously Democratic affiliated nonprofits or whatever they are, volunteer groups really going ham, like in all of Georgia, and then even in those rural like country parts. So I think that, yeah, in my gut feeling, I feel like it's going more to the blue, to the Democrats. I think that
Well,
they'll
also,
elect those.
I think also too because you have State Senator Kelly Loeffler, who is her seat is up for grabs in the runoff, and she has been exposed as a racist over the past few months. Most recently because she has been campaigning with the former KKK member. So there's a lot going on in Georgia. So if you all are watching down in Georgia, make sure you pay attention to what's at stake here on Tuesday. It's not necessarily issues that are swinging one way or the other versus partisanship, but it also, speaks to the fabric of the state that you live in the city that you live in, and how you view and want to shape the next 4 years in America.
So I'm sorry, Johnny, did you have a question that you wanted to ask the panel?
Yes, it was kind of based on the article that I based this off of, which was how Trump was encouraging people, mainly Republicans, to show up on January 5th in support of his like rally thing going on. So my question was, do you guys believe that this is a plan to disrupt certifying Joe Biden's win? That was kind of where I was going.
Ask that one more time. What's the question?
My question was, do you guys believe that this plan of kind of rallying in Georgia to get people up? Sorry, I have everything everywhere. He's rallying in Georgia, and he wants his Republican Party to be supported. All of this going on as far as recounts and things like that, I was just basically asking, do you guys believe this certifies? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you believe this is a plan to disrupt certifying Joe Biden's win, like
Okay.
officializing?
So you're asking if his rallies that he's doing down in Georgia right now are just backup
Is a
for
ploy to,
right? I
yeah.
understand now. Okay, go ahead, Robbie.
Mhm. It's all been a ploy. I mean, he's been saying from, I mean, ever since the election was really announced and coming down the pipe that if it doesn't go his way, he's calling fraud and he's not going anywhere. It's always a play with Trump. There's always something happening in the back end, whether or not it's a valid claim or not. I mean, we know there's no validity to it because it's been turned down at every legal level. But yeah, it's anything that he can do to cause as much disruption now and over the next 4 years to try to destabilize Biden and Kamala Harris's party. It is a win for Trump and his supporters. We've seen that they're not above that kind of disruption. So I don't think that the next 4 years are going to be easy, especially with this crackpot still in the sidelines. But hopefully he'll get taken down legally by one of so many players or by several players, and he just won't be part of the equation.
I mean, I think the obvious answer to that question is yes. Even if you think about like Kentucky, he was down for the Kentucky governor Kemp until Kemp, went against him as it related to, the election and to votes or whatever. And so now, he's been speaking out against Kemp. I think the same thing would happen in Georgia. As long as the Republicans of Georgia are following his lead, following his agenda, going against the law of the land, going against the Constitution, then yeah, he's good. He's fine. But once they, kind of deviate off course, then, they are no longer of use to him. And so he wouldn't be rallying down there for the Republicans whose seats are up for grabs on Tuesday, if not for the fact that they have supported him thus far.
Yeah. And this will go to my topic, which is up next. But Trump is he trying to rally? I don't know that the rallies are directly related to him trying to get support for the Biden, his loss to Biden. But I think what it is he just wants. They're using him because a lot of people voted for Trump. There's the second most people in history voted for Trump. So that's a huge base of people that they're still trying to tap into to get these last few votes. I mean, I kind of I'm hoping that the fervor for Trump has dropped a bit now that he's lost. He's proven to be a loser, but he could still pull them together enough to get those wins. Because those two candidates, those Republican candidates, are pretty shady. One in particular, I forget his name. The one who won't go to the debates. I forget his name. Sorry that I don't remember his name, but yeah, one of them's really really shady. So it's yeah, I don't know that the rallies are necessarily directly related, but indirectly because I think they're still trying to use his influence down there.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's a good.
all right, good dog. All right, so Rupka says she talked to her dad about this today. Jacqueline Robinson said as recently as yesterday, he threatened the Georgia SOS to find over 11,000 votes. We're going to talk about that in the next segment as well.
Yeah.
Rupka says it won't be certified on the day it's supposed to happen. It takes one person. Cruz already said something. All right, so does that make her the least racist person in the room when she's with the KKK? And then Stacey Abrams said over a year ago that the demographics in Georgia were changing, younger and college educated. That would be
Well,
Gianni
and
Storm.
again, and again, Stacey Abrams, after she lost in her bid, to become, I believe it was governor in her state, either governor or senator. My mind is a little scatterbrained right now. But after she lost, she didn't sit back on her heels like Donald Trump and pitch a fit. What she did was went out and got the message out and implored 66,000 people. She got them to register to vote. That's one of the reasons why Georgia went blue. She got out and did the groundwork, did the grassroots work to get her message across about what was at stake in the 2020 presidential election. And so I think that, she has still been, talking to people, holding rallies, press conferences, or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see what the actual numbers are on Tuesday. And if that same momentum that we saw from voters in the presidential election in November carries over to the election on the runoff election on Tuesday.
Yeah, so I got the name of that senator I was talking about that's extremely shady who won't do the debates. His name is Perdue. Jacqueline Robbins. Anika.
Purdue was on COVID protocol because he came
Oh, that's
into
right.
contact with someone
Yeah.
a couple of days ago who has COVID. So
I wouldn't be surprised if that's some of an excuse too.
he's on quarantine for the next couple of days.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're just making up excuses so he doesn't have to talk. But yeah, that was Anika and Jacqueline Robinson gave me those names. So I appreciate that, people online. All right, good hot topic, Gianni. Let's get on to the next one.
Lies, shenanigans.
All right, so I thought this would be a good follow-up after Gianni's topic. This is definitely more shenanigans. Fortunately, we only have a few more days left to be talking about this guy, Donald Trump. But he continues well into the new year to pull what I call a Putin and subvert our democracy. I mean, you'll remember there used to be term limits for presidents in Russia until Putin manipulated their democracy, making him essentially president for life. So Trump continues to do that same thing here, constantly claiming the voter fraud, attempting to challenge the democratic process, literally attempting at this point to get Congress to invalidate the loss. So I think it's absolutely absurd, but he's still trying. Unfortunately, the majority outside of these 12 GOP senators who are now backing him, trying to overturn his election in the Senate vote, where they're going to certify the election there, which is mostly just ceremonial, but he is still trying. So anyway, in all the chaos, a recent report came out about Trump that says he berated his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, just before the election about the coronavirus cases spiking, claiming that Kushner failed to slow down the testing so that it wouldn't look so bad on him, saying, and I'm quoting, "I'm going to lose, and it's going to be your fault. You're killing me." Trump reportedly yelled at Kushner, "I want to do what Mexico does. They don't give you a test till you get to the emergency room and you're vomiting." All right, so here's my question to you guys. First, what do you think Kushner should have done? And second, honestly speaking, you know, I know we all thought Trump was going to be a bad president, but did any of you guys truly think Trump was going to be this disgustingly bad a president?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with Lizzie.
Yes. Again, remember before, he was elected president, we saw evidence of how much of a vile person he was. Let's, go back to the Access Hollywood interview where he is, freely talking about grabbing women by the pussy. Hello. How did that make a good? Let's go back to the 70s and the 80s when both he and his father were sued by the Justice Department because they refused to rent or sell their properties in New York to Black people, to Puerto Ricans, and they lost those lawsuits. They had to pay money. USA Today in 2016 did an article on the 3,500 lawsuits that were filed against Donald Trump before he was sworn in on January 20th, 2017. So yes, I knew he was going to be a bad president. This is a guy who had never held any political office, who had no history of public service, civil service, had no military history, had no history of foreign relations. So no, I didn't think he was going to be any good. I thought he was going to be trash, and he has proved me right time and time again.
Robbie Rock? Oh, what should Kushner have done? I'm sorry, Lizzie. What do you think Kushner should have done?
Oh, I mean, honestly, and this is like, you look at both of them and they're horrible people. So you just want them to, fight to the death, each of them. But if I'm Kushner, I'm like, what did your fat ass say to me, bruh? Like, and don't mistake that for me being pro Kushner, because I'm not. But I'm also not for someone stepping to me with foul language and blaming me for stuff that is their fault. Yep. So if I'm Jared Kushner, I'm like, say that again. I want you to say that again in my face, brother. And we'll see how that works out.
All right, Robbie Rock.
Yeah.
While I can appreciate Liz's passion, but what can poor Jared do? Because I can't imagine how much he owes to that family. They would absolutely destroy him if he doesn't fall in with whatever Donald's edicts are. As far as how bad a president I thought that he would be, I knew he wasn't going to be great, but I had no idea that his narcissism, that his entitlement, his selfishness would bring your country to where it is. It's absolutely deplorable the way that he has run things. Has there been a few good moments to highlight? Yeah, absolutely. No one's just 100% bad at their job, but he was really bad at his job.
Bad. Gianni Storm.
Yeah. Oh, all he has to do to get under Jared Kushner's skin, all he has to do is tongue kiss Ivanka in his face.
Wow.
His daughter.
He's done it a couple of times, right? Hasn't he done that?
Now, I mean,
Don't we have video? I don't know.
That would get the juices.
Gianni Storm. I don't even know what to say after that. We just let Gianni Storm pop in here.
I agree. I think Kushner should have stood up for himself because yes, Trump is in his position of power. I agree with Rob as well. But you're still a man at the end of the day. Like you can't let another man talk to you like that. Like even though, and especially your name, like it's kind of like he's blaming. It's your reputation on the line type of thing. But I also didn't expect. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect Trump to have this much controversy surrounding him and be this selfish of a person. I didn't expect that. I did expect it to be bad. We hired a celebrity as our leader. So yeah. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, my
That's how I
opinion. Go ahead, Lizzie.
Go ahead, Neil.
I was gonna say, okay.
No, I was just quickly say. Also, remember, Jared knows a lot of secrets, so you better treat me with some respect, father-in-law.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that.
So my thoughts are, I mean, I'm not, I don't like to anybody to talk to me any kind of way. I mean, from work, from it could be my boss, my mama. I just don't like people just talking to me any kind of way. I just not going to accept that. I mean, I'll be the nicest guy in the world up until that point, you know. And then so I'm not gonna anyway. But I would if I were Jared, it wouldn't have happened to me, or I would have walked off and been like, I'm not dealing with this. But but as far as Trump being the worst, I actually didn't think he was going to be this bad. I thought he was going to be bad. There's no question. I thought he was going to be a horrible president, probably one of the worst in history, which he turned out to be. But I really didn't think he would care so little about life and people, and that he would just let people just die the way they have been dying. I mean, to talk about the whole Mexico, I didn't think he was this bad. I really didn't think this bad. I thought he was a racist.
Y'all need to read up on your Maya Angelou. When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them.
And I thought that I thought they would be able to keep him in better check. I thought I thought that his handlers would be able to keep him in check better.
That's where the partisanship comes in.
Because Bush was a bad president.
But now we're dealing with the GOP that cares more about partisanship and the party than they do about the American people in this country.
Yeah.
That's where the shift has come. This isn't even Bush's GOP. This is a whole new level
Something different
in this country. And it's very scary.
It
very
is
scary.
And just the whole fact that they're trying to steal this election. I mean, they are so blatantly trying to steal. That's a cute dog.
It is.
Kevin Saxon said he can't do what Mexico does. He made them pay for the wall.
A bunch of rapists and druggies. Like, what we trying to do what Mexico does now?
Right?
I know.
Like
Exactly.
he's land-based in Mexico. We don't want any Mexicans coming in, and now we should be more like the Mexicans.
We should be in Mexico.
I know.
Viva Mexico. Viva Mexico, all of a sudden.
Jose asked, will Trump pardon Kushner for failing him?
Well, he pardoned, Kushner's, jailbird daddy. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? These are awful people, America. These are awful people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it's pets. It's our pet show, so we got to have our pets in the show once in a while.
Hopefully, Remy is sleeping. Get a little randy there.
All right, sorry, I got to get back to our hot topic. Sorry, River. All right, so let's see. Mike Winter on YouTube says, why would you think that everyone should really read more about his history of running companies? I think he was talking to me. That's true. I mean, he did have a history of running things into the ground and using people up. That's where all the bankruptcies came in at.
Remember Trump University? Some of us applied to Trump University.
I will never live this down, will I? Yes, I did sign up for Trump University and got my money stolen from me. Yes, I was.
You didn't get a refund. You didn't get a refund?
Refund? No.
Wait.
I should have been part of the. I know there was a joint lawsuit, but I didn't think I'd.
Class action.
Class action. Thank you.
You could have got your money back.
Yeah, it would have been nice. It would have been nice. It would have been nice. All right.
Wow, that's good.
All right. Last hot topic of the day. Let's head off to Robbie Rock. All right, Robbie Rock. Is this a truth a lie or shenanigans? I guess you want to share the silver lining of COVID.
Well, this is some truth. Some of the innovations that came about in 2020 to help combat the pandemic, and yeah, absolutely, things that we can incorporate into our 2021 if we only know about them. So let's talk about a couple of them.
All right.
So, Nino, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the first image.
Absolutely.
So not every solution needs to be elegant or high tech to be efficient. So this was in Germany. Some of the restaurateurs got together and just put pool noodles on hats. So if your noodles are touching another patron, you know that you've broken that 6 feet. So it's just a very simple thing that any restaurateur can implement. You don't have to spend a lot of money in order to implement safety measures. Next one, please, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Liz, Liz, you're not gonna wear the hat?
You know, I can see Lizzie. She's not messing up that hair. She'll fight somebody.
Let's see, it's great. You can pick whatever color you want. Um, so this is a really, really neat little device that is made by a company called ImmuTouch. They have the ImmuTouch Guard and the ImmuTouch Habit. They both retail for $40 US, and what it is, it's a smart band. So the Guard and the Habit both work in the same way. The Habit was the original product, and it was meant to help deter people from bad habits like rubbing your eyes, biting your nails, pulling your hair. Oh, the same things you want to guard yourself against during the COVID, during the Rona. So they came up with the ImmuTouch Guard, which I believe is just a little bit slicker. So yeah, anytime you go to touch yourself, it buzzes. So just to break you of bad habits,
Oh,
See, where's Apple? Apple can add this as a feature on the Apple Watch.
right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an app for
Easy.
that.
Mhm.
All right, next image, please. Oh, this one's really, really neat. It's an Israeli remote controlled mask. Is this the one that you,
it looks
did
silly
you
to
have the
me.
video?
I don't have the video. No, I didn't. I don't have the video.
Okay,
Oh
so
no.
essentially you can see that there's an opening on the mask. It kind of looks like a weird dystopian Kermit the Frog thing.
Oh no.
It's remote operated. So anytime that the patron wants to take a bite of food,
They press a
when you
button.
press the button and the mask opens, allowing you to feed yourself. I thought that that was just a really neat
I thought
innovation.
it was
It looked
stupid.
really
I'm not
well.
gonna lie. I'm like, really?
So think of what we're talking about. We have a pool noodle on our head, and then we have some, Uber watch device. Then we have this mask that opens and closes when you want to eat. You have to push. Like, that's why I stay home, y'all. That's why I stay home. I'm not doing all of this stuff. No, no,
Oh yeah,
no.
I'm not suggesting it as a full ensemble. We're not putting this together, Liz.
Why
I
not?
mean, but
I don't want to see Liz. I
listen,
want to see Liz in the hat. I want to see her in the
you
hat.
have to see me when I do venture outside. I do have on a full ninja ensemble. Like, I'm completely covered. So if I'm gonna go, I go hard or stay home. I just don't want to have to go this hard. Like, I don't want to do that. For the pool noodles, like if the restaurant just implements the tables so that they are 6 feet apart, you nail them down to the ground. I won't need a pool noodle. I won't be imposing on the person sitting next to me. Like, how can I eat? Or no.
And I think we got one more, Neil.
Yep.
Drive-in concerts.
Drive-in
So
movies are going to be
really,
popular again. I bet they're going to come back.
exactly. So drive-in movies are coming back. Drive-in concerts were a big thing. Some of the names that performed: Indigo Girls, 311, The Beach Boys, Sublime, Bush, Third Eye Blind, War, Snoop Dogg, Cypress Hill. The list goes on and on. So yeah, I think that it would be really neat to see the drive-in theaters make a resurgence, and they could be multi-platform because they can be used as concert venues also, so they can really diversify their income streams.
Sublime still performs? I didn't know Sublime was still performing as a group. I
Apparently
know
they
that's
are.
wow. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Um,
So my question to the panel is, what innovations have you seen in the last year in your day-to-day that made you go, huh, that's a cool idea?
So I had one. I got one prepared for you. So this was at a bar, a tiki bar, and I've seen a couple of versions of this where they're trying to keep people separated. So they have these like little rafts around their stomachs, and
how
so
do you get in and out of that?
you step in. I think you step under and up. Yep.
What if I have
I
to
think you
pee
crouch
really
and step
bad?
up.
That's
You step
no.
you step under and up, and it just surrounds you, and it's supposed to give you a good 6 feet of distance. So that way you're
Sure, because those are singles. Like, do they have doubles? If I want to go out on a date with someone, is there a double version of it?
yeah.
Where,
Oh, where
where,
you're together? I don't know if there's a double
yeah,
version. That would be cool. You should invent that.
That would be
Hmm.
I'm staying home. I don't know about. I'm
It's
staying
the
home.
COVID rules. It's the COVID rules for dating. You got to.
The other thing that came to mind is so I have to admit I'm hoarding masks right now. All kind of cool different masks. So I have like light up masks. I have so many different. My wife. I mean,
starting your collection.
yeah. I mean, I've been having fun with the masks. I wear all kind of masks. I have like masks that you look like Iron Man and stuff, and you know,
Nice.
I've got all kind of stuff going on. So I'm having fun with the masks. So, but what about
The
you
weird
guys?
thing is, as much of a fashionista as I am, I'm really not into diversifying with the mask. Like, it's just to me, I just put
Yeah.
on the regular,
I have
hospital
fun with
issue
it.
mask. Store. I tried it in the beginning, but I think this was like in April, and it was a mask where you just didn't put it over your ear. You had to tie it behind, and that's just too cumbersome. I'm like, no, 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 no. I need something that's quick and efficient that I can take on and
Yeah,
off. If I'm having
on the
problems
go.
breathing, or what have you. So I haven't really done the whole matchy matchy cool mask thing, and I've seen some cool masks. I've seen a
Hmm.
lot of cool masks on the
Me too.
street.
You probably saw
I
him on
thought,
me. You probably saw me walking down the street with a cool mask.
You're right. She wouldn't know.
see my face.
know
I don't know, Robbie.
like.
I don't know about. That's something I have to think about. Like, what's been cool? I have to think about that.
Johnny?
I don't know,
I've seen
Johnny.
those like little keys where you don't touch things, and
Oh,
it goes on your keychain, and then you like use it to open the door or like press the button, and it's like I've seen that circulate, and that's been really popular, especially yeah, and it's like really efficient.
yeah.
Like I guess for now and forever. Too.
So you can
I would use
press
it either
things without
way.
touching them. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
Kevin
All
Daxton
right.
says bleach tablets.
Bleach
Bleach
tablets.
tablets.
Oh,
The kind that fix the Rona. Nom nom nom.
Jacqueline Robinson says a virtual world called Verbana. It's a meeting place and concert space where you create an avatar of yourself.
No, I don't want
Oh,
to be online more than I am, people. No, no, no.
I mean, there's nothing much you can do. I mean, this you got to be on. There's nothing else to do right now.
I do like the concert idea. I do like that. Because you're able to enjoy live music, but still be in some type of safe, confined space.
I love
So I
live
do
music.
like it. 'Cause I miss going to concerts. I
I
really
would.
do.
Me and Mel used to
Um,
go to concerts all the time.
yeah.
That's something I really do miss. That's something I have to
And
admit to.
you can do whatever you want to do in your car,
oh,
however you want
that's
to do it.
fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Great hot topics,
That was a
guys.
good
Thank you,
topic.
Rob B.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right. It's time to get into our game show.
Okay, so we should have a new rule for 2021. There are penalties for cheating.
No,
Different penalties
no. There's never a penalty for cheating. No.
for cheating.
All right. Today's game show is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This is This is going to work just like last time. You'll pick a team captain between you who will decide the final answer, but you will be able to consult with one another. You'll have 2 lifelines of 50-50 and ask the audience. All right. So are you guys ready? The MVP will get the final thought of the day. So we'll pick an MVP between myself and the audience. So we're going to start the game. Who's your captain?
Rob. Oh, Liz.
All right, so you agree with Liz? We're going with Liz.
No, Johnny first said Rob, so Rob is the captain. Sheila, I agree.
All right. Oh, yeah, because actually, Rob B is the reason y'all lost the last time, so he needs to make up.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You ghost of Christmas past.
Going into the new year, new vibes going into the new year.
All right, here's your question. Which company's icon is a pink bunny rabbit that beats a drum? Would it be A, Panasonic, C, Energizer, B, Sony, or D, Duracell?
Energizer.
Yep.
And that is our final answer.
Oh, so we're going with Energizer. All right. See? No. Energizer, yes. All right. That is correct. Yes. All right.
We'll take it.
So do you want to walk away with $100 or continue?
That's like a
Well,
stimulus
take-
check.
That's
No,
true.
$100.
All right. What would you measure with
If
a
we take the
thermometer?
Hyundai now, if we take the Hyundai now, that's $100 more than what we did last time.
That's actually right. What would you do? What would you measure with a thermometer? A, speed, C, flour, B, temperature, or D, height?
Temperature.
Temperature?
Temperature.
Final answer?
Yeah.
All right. That is correct. Correct. $200. You're $200. Would you like to continue or walk away?
We're going to keep this trend running.
All right. So, what is the term given to a person who carries a player's bag in golf? A,
Caddy.
bogey, dormy, mulligan, caddy.
Oh, Caddy.
Caddy, final
Caddy,
answer.
C, D, final answer. All right. That is correct. Correct. Good job. Good job, guys. All right. You are at $300. We will continue. What is the color of the Incredible Hulk? Would that be A, purple, C, red, B, green, or D, blue?
B, Rhea. Green.
Green.
Is that your final
Yeah.
answer, Rob B?
Yes.
That is correct, Rob B. Correct. Correct, Lizzie Enders. All right. Next question. This is for $1,000. Which term is used to reference the area of the United States which tornadoes are most frequent? So which term is used to reference the area of the United States which tornadoes are most frequent? Would that be Twisterland, Tornado Alley, Tornado Valley, or Tornado County?
Tornado.
Tornado
Alley.
Alley.
Tornado Alley? Is that, do you agree with that, Gianni?
Final answer.
Oh, final answer. There it is.
Yeah.
That is correct. $1,000. Whoa, you guys are rolling. All right.
Watch the movie Twister. Go watch the movie Twister.
All right. Which term describes a largely undeveloped agricultural land surrounding an urban area? Would that be Green Island, Green Belt, Urban Field, or Metropolitan Area? Don't forget you have your lifeline.
Hey, so can you
What's the
repeat
question again, please?
Okay, I'm going to
Repeat the
pause it.
question.
Let me pause this. Hold on. So which term describes a largely undeveloped agricultural land surrounding an urban area? Would that be A, Green Island, B, Green Belt, C, Urban Field, or D, Metropolitan Area?
I mean, isn't Greenbelt a city in Maryland?
It is. It is. It is a city in Maryland.
Yeah, see, I only know Greenbelt as an undeveloped area. Yeah. I
What
feel
were the
comfortable
other?
with
What were the other options?
Green Island, Green Belt, Urban Field, Metropolitan Area. And you do have a lifeline. You can ask the audience, or you can go with a 50-50.
I don't trust them Bama's. Come on, Robbie, you're our captain.
I think it's green belt. We can 50-50 it if you want.
I think it's green belt too.
Do you want to use your 50-50, or is that your final answer?
We're going to go with green belt, Neo.
All right. Green belt it is. That is correct. Good job. Good job. All right.
Yes.
On the
All right.
green line. Green belt on the green line in DC.
All right. So we got $2,000. So we're going to continue, I assume.
Heck yes.
All right. Which former governor of California was succeeded by Arnold Schwarzenegger? Would that be A, Jerry Brown, B, Gray Davis, C, George Deukmejian, or D, Pete Wilson?
I believe it was Gray Davis.
I'm going to pause this while you guys are talking.
I have no idea.
I mean, come on, Rob. You're supposed to know U.S. politics, Rob.
You're supposed to know U.S.
Right?
You can ask the audience, or you can use your 50-50.
How confident are you, Liz?
Yeah, audience, help us out. Is it Davis or
Kevin Thax is telling you to use your 50-50. Jacqueline Robinson says Davis.
Johnny, I couldn't hear you.
I think he has a lag.
I think she's delayed. Let me fix that. Hold on, see if I can fix it.
I'm confident that it's Gray Davis.
Yeah, I think I have a lag. Sorry, guys. But I think it is Davis.
I trust my ladies. I'm going to go with that.
So you're not no 50-50. All right, let's go with it. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right. Yes, that is correct. Woo! This Z and Gianni know their stuff, it looks like. Did we lose Gianni Storm? Oh, man, we might have lost Gianni
no.
Storm. No, she's back.
No, she's there.
She's back. All right, good. All right, so we're going to continue. You're up to 4,000. Now you're playing for 8,000. Which film won the 1977 Academy Award for Best Picture?
I see you guys.
Yeah, she's delayed.
She's
for
delayed.
sure.
The Turning Point, The Goodbye Girl, Annie Hall, or Star Wars?
Wait, the question again?
Hold on, I'm going to pause it. So which film won the 1977 Academy Award for Best Picture? The Turning Point, The Goodbye Girl, Annie Hall, or Star Wars?
It wasn't Star Wars.
Star Wars. No, Star Wars hasn't won any Best Picture awards.
Okay, you've narrowed it down. No Star Wars. What else?
What do you think? What do you think?
I think we 50-50 this one.
50-50?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, let's 50-50
No.
this.
All right. Let's try it. 50-50. All right.
Of course, it took
either-
Star Wars away. We already knew that.
it's either Turning Point or Annie Hall.
I'm sorry.
Annie
Repeat
Hall.
the question.
Which film won the 1977 Academy Award for Best Picture? The Turning Point or Annie Hall? This is for $8,000.
I don't know either of those movies.
We got James Lambo on in TikTok says, we got some answers. I'm not going to suggest the answers that they have already on Facebook, unless you want to ask the audience.
For 1977. I don't think these answers
Turning
are correct.
Yeah, I gotta
Turning
cast
Point.
my vote for Turning Point also.
Turning Point. Are you sure you don't want to use a lifeline? You have one
We've already
lifeline
blown
left.
one of them.
Got one lifeline left.
Is that you, Robbie? You're the captain?
Robbie's the captain.
These answers are right.
All right, Johnny's gone Turning Point. I'm okay with Turning Point. We've blown our 50-50. We'll go with the Turning Point as our final answer.
All right. Turning Point as your final answer.
Look at Gianni. She's
That
like,
is no, that is incorrect. Incorrect. You have lost your game.
I have to look this up.
You don't have to look it up. Kevin Thaxton, Jacqueline Robinson, Lauren Alexander, and Jose Holt. All were telling you Annie Hall. Hot.
Oh.
We're all telling you Annie Hall. All right, good job, guys. Unfortunately, you're losers today. You're very Trump-like today. All right, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick. I have an MVP for this one, so it's between the.
Again, I challenged that because I think Annie Hall won in 1978.
Also, it was a trick question.
I don't know. All know is it turning.
Annie Hall won in 78. Rocky won in 77.
So you're challenging the question? Unfortunately, we can't challenge.
$1 million.
Jose says you're all winners in my eyes. You're all winners in her eyes. All right. Let's move on to our shout outs for the day. All right, let's start with shout outs. Gianni Storm, who we shouting out?
We forgot to announce the winner, so I am gonna go based on the comments and what we put together, like the judges voted on. So the winner of Truth Lies Shenanigans first annual holiday pets is Connor Claus.
Yay, Connor Claus. Congratulations. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick.
Thank you, guys.
This is our winner, Connor Claus. Yay. This is our winner. Good job. I don't see Anika, and it doesn't look like Anika's still on, so we'll let her know that she win.
Neo Nix will be buying you a Chanel bag. You will receive it.
No. Gianni, did you want to let them know what they win? I mean.
Yes, they're gonna win a custom TLS pet bandana for
Yes. All right. Awesome. All right, let's get back to our shout outs.
Who are we going with? We going with Robbie Rock?
Gianni's first. What's your shout out, Gianni?
Shout out to Georgia and handling all of this mess for the voters and things like that. And just stay strong and make wise decisions in who you're voting for if you are choosing to vote.
All right. Robbie Rock?
Hey everyone, best of 2021. Tomorrow is Monday. A lot of us are heading back to work for the first time in a little bit. So get some sleep tonight. Go into work rested and just try to bring a fresh attitude forward. Try to be positive and upbeat with your coworkers because no one's enjoying heading back to work after a holiday break. But you don't have to be miserable about it.
That's right. Lizzie Enders?
So shout out to the art of fact checking because yes, I was right. Annie Hall won the Best Picture Academy Award in 1978. Rocky won in 1977. So again, my team, we won $1 million. What's up? How you doing, millionaire?
I mean, there is, okay, so I was reading, Mike Wolf said they announced the Oscars for 1977 movies in 1978. So it was worded a little off, but we can confidently say the turning point was the wrong answer. So, so we can confidently say that. All right. My shout out is to our finalists for the TLS Pets, Mel, Anika, and Zuleika. Thanks for your submissions. Congratulations to Connor. I see Anika is still on. So she says, thanks. Connor appreciates it. And she also wanted to mention that Connor has his own pet food line or pet snack line, I believe. So make sure you check that out. Put the information in. Put the information in the comments, Nika, so we can find out more.
Oh, Connor.
All right, so that's all we have. That's all the time we have for today. Season 2, Episode 1 is in the books. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. We hope maybe you learned something, gained a new perspective, or even got some things off your chest. Don't forget, we need your support to keep this going. Like, follow, and subscribe at TLS Live Show. If you missed any of today's episodes, check out our clips online on YouTube, Facebook tomorrow, and share those clips out. And don't forget to subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on Spotify, Google, Alexa, and search the term Truth, Lies, Shenanigans. I had a fun time. I hope you did too. The next live show is on Wednesday, January 6th. So make sure you check us out. That's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So don't miss us next Wednesday. It looks like I'm picking our winner tonight as Lizzie Enders. I'm going to pick Lizzie Enders as our winner because she had the most right answers and she didn't give the wrong answer. So Lizzie Enders, what's our final thought for today?
Final thought is I'm hungry. I'm about to order some sushi for the second straight day. That is not the best way to start off 2021 when I'm supposed to be saving money, but oh well.
All right, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Shenanigans.